Welcome to this time, Sunday, May 18th edition of Whatever with Don and Justin. And that means.
Yeah, whatever.
It's a fun fact if you weren't actually listening to us live. This is our second attempt at starting the intro, but
Yeah, whatever. 'Cause this is my United States or whatever. And this is my United States or whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Who cares? We don't.
Yeah.
We only need to intro one time. That's a good thing about recording is that people don't actually hear that part. But
Exactly.
leave it to you to actually make it known that I screwed up.
Hey,
so-
it's like showing the magic
But,
trick,
Yeah,
right?
you know what though? Like if you listen live on our live stream, which we do have going right now, then you would have heard that, and that's just one of the many things that you'll hear in addition that you won't hear on the actual recorded show. So
Exactly.
you might as well go in there and listen to the uncut edition, as I like to call it.
Yeah,
The,
whatever.
The messed up edition, as I like to call it. So today, Justin DM'd me on Twitter, and for those of you not in the know with Twitter lingo, that's direct message. And he direct messaged me, and he said, "Hey, go on Netflix and watch this movie. It's called Stitches. It's a British horror movie, comedy, also more comedy. But I went in and I took his advice and I watched it, and we're gonna start the show off with something else first, but." We're going to get into that in about 15 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So-
we got to keep you here.
But the big news of the day, which just broke a
Huge.
few hours ago, Justin and I are into live streaming every now and then, and Justin more so than I am. But the big news of the day was that Google/YouTube is purchasing Twitch, the streaming site, for roughly $1 billion in cash. And
I'll take that cash.
right. And what implications will this have, do you think, on the streaming scene, I guess?
Are you asking me, right?
I'm asking you.
No, you're asking the audience.
I'm asking everyone.
Honestly, I don't know. It's kind of interesting because on one hand, I could see it being good for them because they can make it grow,
Right.
and everything. But on the other hand, it's also YouTube has, in a lot of people's eyes, kind of gotten worse over the years. So I don't know. It just depends on what way they take it. But I mean, it doesn't blow me away that they wanted to buy it because Twitch is like just taking off.
Right.
Absolutely
It's-
taking off.
People are concerned, understandably, about YouTube's recent content flagging and things like that, and copyright infringement notices and all that stuff
Yeah.
they send out. And I think, personally, isn't Twitch pretty much only known for streaming gaming stuff? Like, I don't know it for anything else, honestly.
Well, yeah, but that being said, you can get a partnership with Twitch, but you already have to have a pretty good substantial amount of viewership before they give it to you. But you can make money off of streaming just like you can make money off YouTube videos.
Right. So I think people, I don't. What I'm trying to say is, I don't think that the streaming will go away for gaming on Twitch just because YouTube's involved, because they are known for that. I think that's pretty much why YouTube bought Twitch, is because they stream gaming content, and that's what they're known for. And they're not just all of a sudden going to come in and start flagging things and taking streams offline, because that would pretty much negate their investment. I think I don't see
Yeah.
the point of them buying it otherwise. So
Yeah. Well, also the thing is that they don't really, as far as I'm aware, they don't really have a way to flag old videos. I mean, I think you might be able to, like
Oh, they will.
submit. Oh, they will. Yeah.
they'll implement something. But yeah, it's I just don't think like it's a huge. I think it's kind of premature to go start panicking and thinking,
Of
this is the end
course,
of
of
Twitch,
course.
because I think the reason that they were bought is because they're hugely successful, obviously, and it's mainly built on the gaming structure. And I don't think hasn't Twitch worked out some kind of deal with publishers that they can stream content. I think something
Well,
like that.
yeah. What's interesting about that is I'm pretty sure I was hearing on NeoGAF that some people had gotten the Wolfenstein game early, as you've seen on the forum.
Right. Yeah.
And I heard, if I'm recalling correctly, that people couldn't stream it from their PlayStation 4 because it was being blocked. So
Really? Interesting.
And that's why I heard that people were moving to Ustream to stream it, like through their capture devices, because you couldn't do it through your PlayStation anymore because they were blocking it. So I'm like, which makes sense, because if the systems can stream, why can't they put, make a block of some sort to keep you from streaming till launch day.
Right. Well,
It
that's
makes
yeah,
sense.
and that's another thing is like Twitch already does their own like flagging of things and
Oh
stuff
yeah,
anyway. So they're not like, and they have ads already. I saw people going, "Get ready for ads." I'm like, "There's already ads on Twitch."
yeah.
And there's people like, "Oh, get ready to have to log into Google Plus." Well, you already have to log into a Twitch account. I don't see the same, the big deal with having to log into a Google Plus account. At least your Google Plus account is like when you go to YouTube, you're still logged in, so you don't have to log in again. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? So
I don't see a big change right away either. I think what they're going to do is, they bought it. They're going to keep it as is for a little while.
yeah,
They're going to figure out what they want to change eventually and do it. But I think as it is for at least the next year or so,
mhm.
it'll progress just as normal. You'll just do the normal thing. You'll keep your Twitch
It's a
account, and I
lot.
wouldn't even be surprised if they let you just keep your Twitch account and they just kept it separated, even though they own it.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. Like I think it's kind of similar the reaction anyway because the gaming world is kind of really yeah,
Ah.
exactly. And I think it's kind of similar to the Oculus acquisition by Facebook
Yeah.
because there's not going to be they bought Oculus for a reason, and that reason is what Oculus was doing. You know what I mean? Like they're not going to buy them and go, "Well, we hate your idea, so we're completely changing everything." Like why did you buy them if you know what I mean? Like and I don't think it's not really comparable in that was probably more of a tech acquisition, than
Hmm.
the philosophy acquisition, but I think
Yeah.
this is kind of a philosophy acquisition. Like they're buying Twitch for game streaming, and like that's a huge audience. They know like League of Legends tournaments and stuff like that being streamed, and God, those get 100 million viewers or something. It's crazy. So I mean,
Oh
like,
yeah.
there's merit to this decision by them,
Yeah.
but I don't think there's cause for alarm. At least not in the short term, like you were just saying.
You know where there's cause for alarm or who should have cause for alarm?
Don't know where you're going with this.
All the online publications, because
Oh
as
yeah,
integrations of online streaming and
right.
video reviews and YouTube gets bigger and bigger, the need to go to these websites grows smaller and
Yeah, that's
smaller.
true. That is true. And YouTube needs to start paying me. That's all I know. So
Dude, I want to work for Twitch now. Okay.
yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I wonder. There's actually a site, Gamerside. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah.
Gamerside, NeoGAF user Blim Blim, I think is I don't know if he owns it or whatever, but he's actually like kind of opening up his site to hosting videos, gaming videos
Hmm.
now, and they're known for high quality content, like high quality videos. Like they host 60 frame per second video and up to like a gig and a half you can submit,
Hmm.
and so anyway, I think he's going to actually try to be kind of sort of an alternative for gaming videos to YouTube because YouTube compresses the hell out of everything and it's limited
Yes.
to 30 FPS. And YouTube, to its credit, does do 4K. I actually put a 4K Gears of War video up yesterday, but it's
Sexy.
yeah, it's I don't know. It'll be interesting going forward because I know there's a couple of competitors to Twitch, right? There's like Hitbox, I think
Yeah.
was is trying to get its footing anyway. It's kind of new, right? And
Ustream.
yeah, Ustream's been around, but that might be an alternative to people because people just don't like Google. People are just scared of
Yeah.
corporations and they're like, no, I wanted Twitch to be the competitor to YouTube. Now it's owned by it. What? And you're like, yeah, that's what happens in the corporate world, unfortunately. But yeah. So anyway, that was just like the huge news of the day, and we'll see what happens, obviously, in the future. But I don't think there's any cause for alarm right now. Because
Honestly, with any of these kind of announcements, I just don't worry. It's like it is what it is, and what's gonna happen is gonna happen.
yeah, what are you gonna
And
do about it?
yeah,
Like,
I mean,
oh
either
no, I'm gonna
you know,
protest, and they're gonna not care because you're one person.
no, I mean, basically, it comes down
Unfortunately.
to when a company or something like this changes or happens, and there's changes. I either like the changes and I keep going with them, or use them, or I don't, and I move on. Simple as that.
Isn't Google kind of like a progressive company where they kind of listen to user feedback and kind of? I mean, YouTube's changed a lot over the years,
Yeah.
especially the last 2 or 3 years. They're coming out with a new like interface every 6 months. It seems like they're basically the Taco Bell of video streaming. But that's the thing is like Google. A lot of people dislike Google, but I'm not one of those people because I feel like they're kind of I don't know, especially with Comcast and they have Google Fiber and all these different things that they're trying to be proactive in, and like
Hmm.
they believe in open source. Like Android is open source, is it not? I think it
I
is.
believe so.
And it's, I mean, like, I don't think they're like a big corporate, a big evil entity like people like to pretend they are. And I don't know. Like, they're just,
Show evil.
yeah. So, I mean, they have to make money. They're ultimately a business. And that's what this is about, obviously.
And business is
And they,
good.
and they bought YouTube for like just over $1 billion, back in 2009, I think.
Yeah.
And it was, I can't imagine how much YouTube's actually worth now. I mean,
Oof.
that seems like a really, really small amount when you think Oculus was two billion. That's almost double what they paid for YouTube. And YouTube
Yeah.
is, I don't know anybody that doesn't use YouTube on a daily basis now. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and I
So
mean, I always hear people complain about it, but I never see people that don't use it.
yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
Well, because yeah, it's just like such a universal platform. I don't know.
So it's like, hey, go to YouTube.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Like I know like there's a I can't remember what it was. It was a survey or something of young people, and they asked them like, what is the number one way that you listen to music? And it was YouTube. Like, like people just go to YouTube for pretty much anything nowadays. And that's, I don't know. It's something that's going to have to be like dealt with in the future because it's obviously changed the way people watch TV. It's obviously changed a lot of other things. They've gotten into the movies and stuff that they're trying to get people to pay for on YouTube, but everything's free on YouTube, so that's the problem, is getting people to pay for things and whatnot. But like they're just doing what they can, to like
Yeah.
to go where people are, and people are on Twitch, and that's why they're there, and that's why they bought it. So yeah, and that's the problem, is what can you do about it? I'm not even sure what you can do about it. I mean, it's not a product you're buying. You don't have to pay for Twitch. So,
Nah, and you don't have to pay for YouTube.
yeah. So, normally, when you're unhappy with a corporation's decision like that, you just don't buy the product, and that's how you let them know. But what do you do because they don't have a product you're paying for? You know what I mean? Do you just not visit their
Yeah.
site? Do you ad block them? I don't know. So,
Wah,
yeah,
wah,
I
that's what
ad
they
block
do.
them anyway. I'm a big proponent of ad block. Ad block's a lot of fun. Anyway, so I apologize to our live stream. For whatever reason, it just went and muted itself. So they just missed out on everything we said. But anyway,
Oh, really?
yeah. Oh well.
Oh,
Wah,
gosh. They were like,
wah.
man, this live stream sucks.
Like, why am I here? I'm just
Yeah, I'm
hearing
still waiting.
nothing but crickets. All right, so I think we did like 12 minutes of that, and we wanted to go 15. So if you have any kind of extra thing you want to add before I move on to the movie I just teased at the top of the show, that's why people would listen on the live stream anyway, honestly.
Yeah. Honestly, nah, we can proceed forward.
Okay, so Justin, like I said earlier today, DM'd me on Twitter, direct messaged, and told me to watch this movie called Stitches. And how did you come across Stitches?
Well, I woke up this morning, was taking care of the baby, and I was like, man, I need to watch. I want to watch something while I'm doing all this and taking care of the little one while the other one's sleeping. So, scrolling through Netflix, and I'm just looking at all these different horror movies that the Netflix is suggesting to me. And I see
Horror movies.
horror, yes. And then I see Stitches, and I don't, I'm normally not one for picking, great movies randomly.
Right.
So I pick it. I'm like, okay, it's about a clown, whatever. Let's just watch it. I just need something to kill time, and I put it in, and that's its history. Then I was like, it's like about like I think 20 minutes in, I was like, you must watch this movie. I hadn't even finished it when I sent you that message.
Really? So yeah. So as soon as you sent it, I literally I went to Netflix and I looked it up myself, and I started watching it, and I didn't know anything about it. I had no idea what to expect coming out of it. I'm looking it up right now on Bloody Disgusting because it seems like a movie Bloody Disgusting might have covered. I'm not sure, but I haven't worked for Bloody Disgusting for a couple of years now, so until this past little while. But anyway, oh, here we go. BD review: Stitches is destined to be a cult classic. And that's pretty much how I feel about it. That movie is crazy. It's a nuts ass movie. Basically, it tells the story of a birthday clown named Stitches, and he goes to a child's birthday party and dies. They are the most annoying little shits to him. They treat him like complete garbage. Although he's not the nicest guy either, but I felt bad for him, honestly. He's just like, here at the beginning of the movie, I actually have it pulled up on Netflix now so we can kind of listen to a couple of scenes here. This is a kid blowing out his candles. And the thing is, his birthday party's already started, and they're all
Yeah.
happy and cutting the cake up and doing all kinds of things. And then they cut from the birthday party, and I like this part. The kid's like staring at the mom's boobs, and then they cut to Stitches at home, and he's driving his little car. He has a little clown car he's driving.
I'll be back in about an hour. Keep yourself on the boil.
It's British, in case you didn't know. He's driving with his feet, talking on the phone.
Yeah.
He's got big clown shoes up on the
Biscuits
steering
under
wheel.
the sink.
The funny thing is that like I thought it was in the reverse order, but anyway, at the very beginning of the movie, he's like pounding his girlfriend, which is hilarious right here. And they like zoom out.
Signed up. Some stupid clown thing.
Fuck me, clown. 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 Come on, clown. Fuck me,
Oh,
clown.
the fucking.
Hey, I'm late.
But anyway,
I've got to do some little bastard's party. I need to get up.
I want to watch it again. Already.
yeah, I know. They do like the loadout, the quick loadout scene from like Army of Darkness, where he's like got his all his clown gear. He's like pulling on the glove and stuff. But like they pull out. That's a bad choice of words while he's having sex with his girlfriend. But they like zoom out, and you see him like in all of his clown gear, like dressed up in character, like pounding his girlfriend, and that just cracked me up because that's how he dresses, like at home. Like he's in this really shitty like little trailer on like the side of a cliff, like right by a beach. Yeah, it's hilarious. But anyway, so that's his everyday life, and like he doesn't actually have to get dressed or anything. He's already dressed, and his makeup is all spotty and not very well put on, and like his wig is like crooked, and his real hair is showing through, and all that shit. It's funny. But he goes to the party. And these kids like start just treating him like ass, just being real little shits. And he's doing tricks for them, and they come and they tie his shoes together, and he falls backwards and he lands on this exposed knife as he's falling.
Right, kids. Now it's time for funny bones.
Funny
Oh,
bones.
funny bones.
Goodbye, funny bones.
Boom. Little shit.
Yeah,
So
I'd say he was a shitty clown though. Too.
yeah, he was. But they tie his shoes together, and he trips and falls and impales his face on a fucking kitchen knife that he falls on in the dishwasher, and it kills him. And then he like proceeds to get up and pull the knife out and just spray blood all over this little kid. I mean, there's like 50 gallons of blood that come out of his face. It's crazy. But anyway,
Yeah.
the rest of the
That was
movie.
shocking.
Yeah, that was the first thing that clued me in on. I was like, okay, I guess this isn't a kid's movie. So, well, that was the second thing. The first thing was him pounding his girlfriend at the very beginning. So anyway, he then proceeds to be buried, and then the kid goes over to the graveyard next door and sees like some cult, like
clown cult.
ceremony. Yeah, it's a clown cult doing like a ceremony, and they. I don't know. Nothing happens for like the next 6 years, but he throws another party on his birthday 6 years later, and lo and behold, the clown comes back to life and proceeds to go to the party and stalk all of the kids that were at that party where he died, and proceeds to murder them in absolutely ridiculously gruesome ways.
Oh yes.
I mean,
Loved it.
really, really gruesome ways. Like, he takes one kid. He did the coin behind your ear trick with this kid, and he's like, "Oh, look at that! I pulled. Oh, you got a coin behind your ear." And that was at the party in the beginning when he's a kid, and then later on, like when he's 6 years older, he corners the kid, goes up to him, and he just like puts his hand like he's gonna do the trick again, but he just like rips his ear off.
Yeah.
And the kid's like, "Oh, my ear! I need that back!" And he's like trying to get it back from him, and oh man, it's fucking crazy.
What I loved is like he had all these puns to say like after he killed.
Oh
him.
yeah. Like the
You know.
what was the one? Oh yeah. So there's just like one fat kid, and of course, the fat kid is in the pantry just like chowing down, like pigging out on this like canned food in there, and he goes in there and proceeds to he takes a can opener, and
Yeah.
he cuts his scalp open. He cuts
Yeah.
the top of his head open, and he
Peels
like
back.
yeah, he peels back, and then he like takes an ice cream scoop, and he takes like a bowl, and he literally starts scooping his brain out and putting it into the bowl, one scoop
Yeah.
at a time. And then afterwards, after he's done, he's like, "Wow, He goes, well, that's food for thought. You're like, okay. like
what
that's
was the
something
one-
I would say.
What was the one he said to the? What was the one he said to the girl with the umbrella?
Let's see if I can find it here. Yeah,
That,
I
the
like
whole,
when he
the whole thing was great.
I like the one with the umbrella. He literally like chucks an umbrella at this girl from behind so hard it impales through her fucking head, and her eyeball pops out on the very tip of the umbrella,
Yeah.
and then she falls down and like blood just spurts everywhere, and then the umbrella opens and like shoots blood all over the room. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
she swallows her eyeball too. She just swallowed
Well, I
her
mean,
eyeball.
the crazy thing was when she falls backwards, they show it.
Oh, that's right.
They
That's right.
show the umbrella.
Yeah, and it's all in slow motion, by the way. What you're talking
Like she
about?
put her weight on. It shows the umbrella just going through the rest of her head, and then it opens. It just the blood just goes everywhere. And you would expect it would have been almost a 3D movie the way that shot was.
That would be awesome. So here's him. He's like tossing around the umbrella and he opened it. She's running away. Right through her face. And you hear all the blood just like spraying everywhere. And then she falls down and then the umbrella just like in slow motion just flies out of her face. And then opens. Oh, she swallows her eye.
Taken from behind.
And then that sequence right there afterward where the kid sees him in the
man.
window and he just walks backwards.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's right. There he is. He
Yeah.
just like waddled
I think
backwards.
my favorite scene though is when
Oh,
he's chasing
man.
him with the little tricycle bike.
Oh yeah, that reminded me of Leprechaun. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
like riding a
he's like
tricycle.
he's chasing him with the bicycle.
He's
and
going uphill.
and they're going up that hill,
Yeah, this part.
and
here.
he just keeps slowing down.
Fuck's sake.
he just gets off and picks it up and starts running with it under his arm.
Because he can't go up it. He can't get enough traction.
I like earlier on when the kid like comes home and it's his birthday and he has a note from his mom on the door and he's like he rides his bike around to the back and it says, "I got you a present, honey. It's around back." And he goes around the back of the house and it's the exact same bike that she bought him the year before. and it's just convenient enough that he has two bikes now, so that the girl that he's in love with or whatever like can escape as well. Anyway, this is stupid ass humor throughout the whole thing, just like
Yeah.
that.
Did you like how serious at the very end, like that dude's putting the thing back together, and like,
Yeah.
out of nowhere, the girl comes up and you're like, what the heck? And then he just looks at her all evil, like just pushes the head back down. I was like, what?
Yeah, they the whole premise. Should I give away the premise of the movie?
Yeah, you might as well.
The egg. Okay, there's at the very beginning when he's pounding his girlfriend. There's like an egg she looks at and she's like, "What is that?" And he's like, "I don't know, some egg I had to paint my face on when I got the job." And like when the kid goes and sees all these clowns like doing the little ceremony thing, they all have his egg, right? They're holding his egg. And it's in this like little container. It's like a Metroid container or something. It's really
Yeah,
weird.
that's what it looks like.
But anyway, so throughout the movie, like you're like, why is he what's with this egg? Well, it's like basically it's his soul like in the egg or something, and it resurrects him. And like at the very end of it, of course, to kill the clown, they break the egg, right? And he's like full of egg yolk apparently. But they kill him by breaking the egg, and then at the very end of it, one of the clown, isn't he getting like a BJ while he's putting it back together? And then he like pops up. She pops up and he's like, "No, keep going." And then he's like putting the egg back together, and then the egg just like kind of solidifies and comes together, and then the movie just roll credits.
And that's it. Yeah,
But they have outtakes at the end too. They're pretty funny.
yeah. And remember, he's like, "Oh, I never thought I'd have egg on my face."
Wow. Jesus.
But it's
it's
just got so many good parts.
It's an interesting movie. It was a very entertaining movie though. It was super over the. I mean, it was the realism that got me, that I liked it so much. You know.
Oh, one of my other favorite parts was the very important message that he remembered.
Uh-huh.
Lefty, Lucy, Righty tighty.
Oh yeah, he learned at apparently like age 16 or something, lefty loosey, righty tighty. I was like, okay.
When he saw the dude
Who
telling him
doesn't
that
know
again
that?
at the end.
Yeah, that's how he figures out how to open the Metroid container with the egg in it. Yeah, it was pretty.
Oh,
That's a weird movie. That's all.
Yeah.
It's just a weird movie. But
cult
anyway,
classic.
yeah, definitely. So I'm glad to see Bloody Disgusting liked it though. I'm glad I work for them now because I was questioning it before, but now no. So, all right. What are we about 20 minutes into the show? 25. We're about 25 minutes in, I think. Yeah, we're going for about 55-minute show tonight. So, one of the other things I wanted to talk about is relevant to our sponsor tonight, and I hope that this plays at the right volume, because if it doesn't, hold on a second. All right, so basically, for those of you who do not play Titanfall, you probably don't care about this, but I think it's relevant because it could start a trend if it kind of goes without contest. Past couple of days, Respawn, the makers of Titanfall, what has it been, like 2 months since the game came out?
Something like that.
I think it's been like 60 days. The game is multiplayer only already. There's no single player. And they went and there's 5 online modes to play, and they pulled the playlists for 2 of the 5 online modes. So basically you can't play publicly anymore 40% of the game. And I think honestly, like, what happened was there's a 40% off sale that started, and I think maybe some miscommunication happened, and they thought that, like, oh, they meant take 40% off the game, but they meant the price. So anyway, in honor of Respawn doing what they did with their game, I got them to actually agree to sponsor tonight's show. So we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm a representative from Respawn Entertainment. Perhaps you've heard of us, developers of Titanfall. Do you have an old car perhaps you don't drive anymore?
Where's my
Or
car?
perhaps you have sentimental things that you don't use anymore?
Where's my iPhone?
Well, for absolutely no charge, we will collect those items and take them back.
I'm pretty sure that's trespassing.
Introducing Respawn Repo. Because who really wants excess clutter anyway? Respawn Repo. We take it back.
So, thank you, Respawn, for sponsoring
Yes.
tonight's show. I'm glad that you guys found a new revenue stream, honestly.
I didn't even know. He was a surprise for me.
Oh yeah, this is breaking news tonight on the program. But yeah, so basically, I don't understand the decision really. If basically they said that people weren't using it enough to justify leaving online, because people would go into a lobby and they would wait for up to 10 minutes for enough people to join to play a game. And in their eyes, that did not provide a satisfactory experience. So they decided if there aren't going to be enough people playing, then no one should play. I guess that's the whole thing. It's kind of weird to me.
I agree.
And then there's people on GAF that were in the thread for the news, and they were defending it, saying this happens all the time in console games, especially. And all they're doing is taking the playlists out. You can still play the game modes, but you have to play a private match. And I'm like, do you understand the problem with me knowing 11 people that have the game on PC, number one? Number two, all of us getting together just to play a single mode of a game. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't happen a lot. Like, I don't know 7 to 11 other people with this game, because I can't imagine Capture the Flag being very much fun with like less than 8 people. You know what I mean? The game only supports up to 12 people online at once anyway. So, but like a 4-on-4 match would be like the minimum I would really want to play Capture the Flag with. And getting 7 other people with the game on PC, not Xbox One, because of course cross-platform play is not possible.
Yeah.
It's just like it's something that doesn't really happen a lot for me. And I don't know, like I don't think I'm ever going to get to try these modes, basically is what it boils down to. And the game's only 60 days old. It's 2 months old, for crying out loud. Like, does this happen often with console games that early? I don't think so. But
I don't think so either.
I mean, this is kind of like unprecedented to me.
And it makes me not. It would make me feel offended, because it feels like I don't have control. Like I bought a product, I got this what you guys provided me, and then
Yeah.
you're taking away modes, and even though they're not being used a ton and it's hard to get into those, you're still taking something away from me that I already paid for.
Yeah, and a lot, people paid $60 for what was already a really really light on content game. That's the thing. Like it's
Yeah.
like if there was a campaign to kind of fall back on or something, like, maybe I don't. It still wouldn't really be excusable to me. It's taking something out that people paid for after they paid for it without telling them that it's going to happen, and I don't like that at all. And that's why I think this is relevant to people even if they don't play Titanfall, because it sets a precedent. Like, if a game like Titanfall, how much exposure did Titanfall get? You know what I mean? Like, it's a huge game, regardless of sales or whatever. It was one of the most highly publicized games for the entire year leading up to its release from its reveal. You know what I mean? So, like,
Yeah.
if a high profile title like this is allowed to get away with something like this, then it's really not going to be hard for a lot of other games to do it down the road. And I could see them taking stuff out and putting it back in for a price, something like,
Yeah.
who knows what they're going to do next if they're allowed to just, like, I mean, people are like really mad at him for this, and they're probably not going to back down. Like, they seem like they're pretty steadfast on keeping it like it is, because I think I don't know, I really don't understand the thought process behind, well, if not enough of you are going to play, then none of you will. Like, okay. Like, and the other thing to me, like I said, there was a sale. That's why I bought the game, as a 40% off sale. They started, they pulled the modes the day the sale started. And I'm like, I even tweeted to him. I said, "Do you not understand the purpose of a sale? Like, the purpose of a sale is to get more people playing, right? Because you're not selling enough for whatever reason. And the reason you cited for pulling these modes is that not enough people are playing them." And I'm like, that's kind of backwards. Like, you're trying to get more people playing it, but you're not giving them a chance to play it. I don't understand that at all. So,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the funny thing about Titanfall is, in my opinion, the day I played it, like, I was playing it. I played about 3 hours, and I was like, I'm done. There is nothing else I can do in this game that's gonna provide me satisfaction. I feel like I've seen everything. I've just not leveled up enough. But I mean, I was like, I'm done. And I had all these people that were like, dude, I don't understand. It's amazing. It's an awesome game. And I'm like, I'm not really seeing it. And they were like, oh, whatever. We're gonna play this all the time. I don't see anybody talking about it anymore.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's just like,
Like nobody.
no, and nobody really. I don't know. I don't know, like, how the hype died down so fast for it, but it just, it's like, well, I don't know, whatever. I mean, that's a whole other issue, honestly. But
Yeah.
that's the main thing. Like, to me, is that I just don't like the precedent it sets, and it's just going to be a nightmare going forward. I think if this just is allowed to stand, basically, and I just don't want them. I don't want to see it happening. God knows what other games will do it. I mean, like, I can imagine sports games doing it, like, no problem. Like, just taking out players, or taking out, like, stadiums, or, just a number of things. Like, and I know it's kind of like, slippery slope argument, and it's kind of like I'm bringing up some extreme examples, obviously, but it's just I've never seen that done in any other medium before. Like, I don't think a DVD's ever had, extra behind the scenes footage removed because not enough people were watching it, or something like that.
Of course
it's just
not. Yeah.
it's just weird.
Oh. Oh wait. Beep 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 beep. We got a live information report.
Uh-oh.
Adam says on Twitter, "You're echoing, and Don was missing from the first 25 minutes."
Yeah, I know. I told him the live stream wasn't working right. But anyway, yeah, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do about it. It's just like,
There's nothing you can do.
yeah. I mean, there really isn't. That's the problem. And that's kind of back to what we were talking about with the YouTube thing, the YouTube Twitch thing. Like, the acquisition is like, well, it's not a product, so you can't really, like, speak with your wallet like you do with most products. It's just kind of, you have to I don't know. You just have to kind of hope for the best, I guess, and, like, just wait to see where things go from here. And that's pretty much it. Like, that's all we can do with this situation anyway.
Yeah, that's it.
It's kind of depressing. I hate being out of control of situations like that. And it's like, ugh, like, you just, I mean, you can tweet to them, or you can email them, or just, You cannot buy their game, but that's kind of been the problem that led to this. So if this is their reaction to people not buying their game, it's like, what are you gonna do? I mean, it's
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? Bleed
What are
on
you
me?
gonna do?
What are you gonna do? Bleed on me? It's just a flesh wound.
all right. So anyway, we're done talking about that. It was just something that I just thought it was concerning because I mean the industry's going in some fucking crappy ass directions anyway, in my opinion. So what's one more? Who cares? It's not a big deal. All right. So up next, I was going to talk about this movie that I watched for Bloody Disgusting, called The Mummy Resurrected, and I got I got it out of Redbox, and
no.
it it has no relation to the existing Mummy franchise.
But uses the font.
It does, yeah. Have you looked it up? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what movie you're talking. I haven't seen it, but I saw the trailer and I was like, oh.
Oh, you saw a trailer. So I watched this movie because I want to do like weekly stuff for them, but there's literally been nothing out in theaters. And I kind of sort of reviewed a movie called Hazmat was it last week or something? I don't remember. But that movie was bad. And then this movie like shames that movie in how bad it is. This movie is one of the worst movies I think I've ever seen in my life. And it's like I tweeted yesterday. I said I just watched an amazing movie. Great review coming up. Like this review is going to be so fun for me to do. It's just like it's such a relief that things like this get released and like I just get to like take out so much frustration on everything that they did in this thing. Man. So I've got to find the freaking movie files wherever I put them.
So is this like your are you basically reviewing it on here or
no, I'm gonna
you're gonna
do
have
a
your own
review
separate
too.
review?
Yeah, I'm gonna do my own separate review. But the thing is, I've got some clips I can play. All right, so the movie it's God, I don't even know how to describe what it's about. It's about this these people go on an expedition into a tomb in Egypt. And they find a mummy, and the mummy, of course, comes back, and blah blah blah. But it's got some of the worst. It's some of the worst acting like I've ever seen. And okay, like it's a bad sign when like every archaeologist in the movie is like a playmate. They all look, they're all like super hot women, Yeah, like this is one of the first scenes in the movie. The girl's waiting for her dad, and.
Maggie.
Hi.
I need you inside. Jerry's made a hieroglyphic version of Pictionary.
Jesus.
Can you believe it? He's really gonna show.
She's talking about her dad. She hasn't seen him in like 20 years, and she just has this stupid
And do
note
you
that
think
says,
holding some kind of a vigil
I'll
out
be here
is a good
today. It's
idea?
12
Am I
or
being childish?
6:30 or
Considering
whatever.
he was supposed to be here 2 days ago waiting for us.
I know, I shouldn't be so wound up, but I can't help myself.
And of course her
except
friends
for
start
the
like
occasional
popping out
picture,
one by
And you
one.
know that how?
And they're just
He's
like
coming today?
the
Right
hottest
now?
women,
Hey
I
guys,
swear.
Come on, so we're actually gonna meet him. Can you go inside?
How do I look?
Please?
All right, you heard her. Party's over.
And here he is. He pulls up, and he's British. I don't really get that. It's kind of weird. Here he just pops right out of the car.
Margaret, look at you. What a beautiful young woman you've become.
This is an awkward line
Come
coming
over
up.
here and give your old man a hug.
Okay, so it really gets awkward right here. Yeah, this line right here like kind of creeped me out. Hold on, it like kind of split into another clip. I gotta cue it
I
back up.
loved her more than life itself. Which means I will love you even more.
Oh my god, that's fucking weird. It's his daughter he's talking to. So anyway, it goes from there. And they go. Well, the night falls and they're in a hotel like trying to catch up and stuff. And this guy like comes in and just kind of warns them about the whole place.
Amadou, your liaison from the SCA. Forgive the intrusion, but I cannot guide you into that region tomorrow.
Why not?
And for your own safety, I must have your permit revoked.
I have to say something too. This part of the movie, everything is like green screened. They're in front of they're in a hallway. and they're clearly in front of a green screen. It's awful.
There is an evil in that valley. A great, great evil. It's warned that all those that enter the valley in search of the Nameless One will never return.
He said nameless one, not nimbless. I don't know what nimbless, but anyway. So he's warning them, don't go into this place because there's a mummy there, you know. Anyway, so here we got them going into the place, and it's 4 ridiculously hot women and this old dude, and then they have to sound smart, right? This is them walking. Great mic, by the way, they used. Yep, they're almost there, don't worry. We'll be there any second now.
Hey, over here. See the disjointed hieroglyphics at the entrance of the tomb? Placed there to confuse the messengers of Anubis.
They're there to confuse the messengers of Anubis. And this girl's like taking 50,000 pictures, and it's just the most awkward looking. I don't know. She's like completely like she rotates the focus on it like nonstop. Like she's never used a camera in her life. It's so stupid. I'm like, why did they get these women? Honestly, I tried to follow the lead actress on Twitter, by the way, and she hasn't approved me yet. They're looking inside the cave now, trying to find a door, and I have to say too, the door is like this gigantic thing with a huge scarab on it. Okay, I mean like the size of a person, that big, and they're looking around, and it's a pretty well lit room, and they have flashlights, and finally, after like 2 minutes of looking around.
I can't believe it. It's really here.
What does our man Van Hine have to say now?
Jesus. I mean, like, it's literally like this gigantic door. The only thing, obviously, not a rock wall in that gigantic room. And takes them like 2 minutes to find it. So anyway, I like this part here. What about that dust cloud?
I don't see anything.
It's probably just a ploy to extort some extra money from your old man.
What?
They do this all the time. Hey, what about that dust cloud? It looks like it's getting closer. Dust cloud. Must you?
Whatever it is, I'm sure it'll pass right by us. We're all the way up here on the top of a mountain, right?
Right?
That's some horrible dialogue.
I know. It's one of the worst acting in written movies I've ever seen. So anyway.
I mean, it makes Stitches look like Oscar caliber.
Dude, Stitches isn't that bad. That's what I'm saying. Like, Stitches is actually like, pretty well done. This is like, fuck, God, why? All right, so, and I, like, before I rented this, I went on, the Redbox review thing, and it had, like, nothing but 1-star reviews all down the list, and it was like, Redbox should be ashamed carrying this garbage. I was like, I've got to rent this. It's awesome. So anyway, all right, what is this one? It's just the second part of the clip. I don't think they say anything. But anyway, so they're trying to figure out how to open that door I just mentioned with the scarab on it. It's like the size of a person, and it looks like there's like 7 holes on it, okay? And they're in like the shape of a constellation, pretty obviously. And this is what they're like.
In Kafkas, the Big Dipper is known as Plug, the plow.
Oh.
That does look like the constellation.
The Egyptians called it the Forever Stars. In this latitude, the constellation never disappeared from the night sky, and thus symbolized eternity.
And those letters, AM, AM, PMD,
What?
are the first initials of the 7 stars. The key is in the order of the star's formation.
Jesus Christ. And she literally just like, all she does for this is she like, to open it, puts her fingers in every single hole sequentially, like straight on down, and it opens.
Oh.
And of course, when the door opens, it's like the flimsiest looking, like wobbly door that like goes backwards because whoever's behind it is like pulling on it, you know, like trying to move the styrofoam prop, and they're not doing a very good job of it. All right, so they finally get in. Well, there's a gunfight. I'm gonna skip that. This is an awesome thing. Okay, these girls. I guess I'll play the gunfight. This is what they hear next. Okay, they're inside. They find the thing. The guides that they had or whatever. You know, the tour guides. They went off back to town and they didn't know why. And the guy that was with them told them it was because of overtime and all this discussion. Anyway, so what it is they're actually wanting what the girls found. You know, so they get into like a big shootout over it. And the awesome part about the shootout is that every single like bullet casing and whatnot that comes out of the AK-47s Horrible CG.
What the hell was that? It sounded like fireworks. More like gunfire.
Nope. So anyway, the girl runs outside and she looks and she sees all these guys shooting at each other and she comes back and this is what she says. Well, this is her saying it first.
Oh shit!
Runs back inside.
They're coming, a bunch of them, and
What?
they're all happy.
Who's coming?
I have no idea.
Who's coming?
Let's do this.
Slow down, I can't
I'm getting out of here.
I have no idea what happened in that scene. It's the most confusing editing I've ever seen in my life. But anyway, so who's coming? Who's coming? I have no idea. Who, what, when, where. Screw this. I'm getting out of here. And she just runs off.
Yeah, hello.
So later on, like, they get trapped because they have no choice but to retreat into the door they just found. And they get trapped. So what do you do?
What do you say? Try some? Trust me, a couple of hits and you'll be totally relaxed.
She's offering
Keep your
her
mind off
a
of all
joint.
this noise.
Wow.
She
Take all that
takes it.
noise away.
She takes it and
Come on. Telling me a Beantown girl like you has never gotten high before?
so she goes off and gets high and she wanders off and what does she stumble upon? I swear to God, it takes her about a full 30 seconds to turn completely around as this like black smoke is coming up on her ass and making this noise. God, it's so bad. It's Anubis, by the way.
Anubis.
Anubis. God, she's still turning. Then the whole place like collapses on her and kills her. So they get like kind of like stuck because like it caves in on them, and they try to like hammer their way through the rock, and
Maggie!
this is them hammering.
Can please anybody here?
You hear them hammering there? This scene is 2 minutes long. They're hammering on the wall for 2 minutes of the movie. They just keep on cutting to them like hammering and hammering and hammering, and I was like, okay, I think I've had enough. Anyway, that's close to the end, and then it just kind of plays out from there. You got the mummy doing its thing, and it like wraps this girl up in like bandages to make her look like a mummy. It's worthless. And then eventually the guy like it turns out the guy the old archaeologist or whatever from the beginning with the daughter, he had this plan to resurrect the mummy and put the soul of it into his daughter so that his daughter would become an Egyptian queen or something. And then I don't know, it didn't make much sense. And then
Oh my god, we did it. We made it. Oh my god. Oh my
that sounds dirty
Now we
actually.
need to figure out how to get help.
god. Maybe we can make our way back down to the trucks.
You guys go without me.
What?
I have to go back and try to find my dad.
Of course.
Maggie, 3 of our friends already died in there. It's too dangerous.
I have to go try to find him.
No, Maggie, please. You're not thinking clearly.
This is awesome.
Yes, I am. Ronnie, you can't control every situation.
This has nothing to do with control. This is about common sense.
No, Ronnie, you're only about control. Controlling everyone and everything.
She's
Just
actually
stop
being
it.
pretty
You
pretty
remember
normal
in
about
Washington when all
this.
those people left our project? It wasn't because the project was too difficult. It was because you were. Ronnie, you're my best friend. I love you like a sister. You know I would do anything for you.
But
Sometimes you need to just let go.
and let me go kill myself while I go look for my dad in this fucking place that killed 3 of our friends. But you're a control freak. So that's
Not common sense.
pretty much the end of the movie. She ends up like becoming this possessed by like the spirit of this fucking old ancient queen from Egypt or something like Cleopatra. But it was, oh man, it was one of the worst things I've ever seen. Don't just skip it. Is my point. If you see it in
Okay.
Redbox is not always a good thing to.
I'm gonna skip it.
Yeah, to find.
I heard enough.
So anyway, I think that's about it for tonight. I'm done. I'm worn out.
I can't believe I went from a happy movie,
I know, I'm
like,
sorry.
awesome movie to that.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. But Google, Twitch, man. Yeah, we've had a lot of like heavy stuff tonight. So I don't know.
I just want to watch Stitches again.
You're gonna watch it again? You should. It's a good
maybe,
movie.
Maybe not tonight, but later.
Later. There is no later. I'm gonna have Stitches on in like the background as like a loop going on for days on end, just because I like that movie so much. So anyway,
Oh, fuck off.
what did we learn tonight?
I learned not to watch that damn movie.
Yeah, don't
'cause
watch
just
that movie. It's bad.
sounds horrible.
It's awful.
I also learned that game companies can just rip stuff out of their games if they don't like it.
Apparently so. Like, oh, you guys aren't using this, right? So we'll just take it. Yeah, it's the thing. It's like, it's not like it's in their way or it's like, taking up space on I don't know. Like, it's just, they're just like,
Don't mind me.
yeah, I mean, you guys clearly don't like this and we put work into it. So, hey, you got loud. So, like, I just, you don't want to play it, then we won't let you play it. That's fine. Oh, you were playing it? Well, we don't care. We got your money. What do we care?
Tough shit.
What did I learn? I didn't learn anything, actually. No, I learned you can stumble onto some awesome movies on Netflix if you just look hard enough.
Yeah, you go through a lot of stinkers.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad stuff on there, too. Be careful. It's probably... The Mummy Resurrected is probably going to end up there, some point soon. But, yeah, whatever. Literally, whatever. Whatever. I do want to become a birthday clown now, though, so I can come back and go on a murderous rampage. Isn't that what you do?
Yeah.
I like
with
the
a nose that can sniff out people.
Oh, that was awesome. He like takes his nose off and he's like, "Find him, sniff him out," and like the nose just starts like moving around and like sniffing out the kids one by one, and then like the cat comes on it and like tries to like stop it, and then there's a scene where he's just like he's got this clearly like stuffed animal by the tail, but he's like flinging it around. There's like blood slinging all over the walls.
It's like,
and
how
stuff.
many lives do you have?
That's right. He's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, dead. That's what he says.
Yep.
And that's the end of the song. So anyway, thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, and we'll see you next week. Don't
follow us on.
Yeah. Okay. You do all that stuff. Follow us on Twitter.
Yeah, follow us on Twitter. It's Don Allen for obviously Don, and @SlasherJPC for me, and also our YouTube channels.
Yeah, that's his YouTube. My YouTube is F'd Up TV, FDUP TV, which makes no sense in the context of the show that I do now. But hey,
still good.
Who cares? Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week. Till then, take care of yourselves and each other.